Hello there. My name is Roy with my co-host Corey. We are the Real Guys, and this is the Real Show with 2 E's. Today, what you need to do is jump on your motorcycle and chase after a train and jump on the train. But that's in episode 2. We're going to only do episode 1 today.
Yes, episode 1.
As always, I'm accompanied by our co-host Corey. How are you doing today, Corey?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Excellent. I can see for people who are watching our video version, if you want to watch our video version, of course you could listen to us on Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Anyway, you get your audio platforms there. You can listen to us on there. But also, you can watch our video version, and Corey is handily doing some ASL sign language for us.
I was.
Because we are reviewing the first episode of Marvel's Echo.
Yes. Which we have decided to do in our normal fashion.
Very excited. Yes, but our normal fashion. Well, what I like to do is, Corey, often, it's 2024 now.
Yep.
It's a new year. It's January 2024. And I like to bring in the new people, the new listeners, the new viewers to our show with our regular format of how we choose to review a week-by-week episodic television series.
Correct.
And we do that via reviewing the first episode, and then when it's all out, we review all of it.
Yes.
But we can't really do it this time.
No.
But we also can.
Yes.
Because it's our choice, obviously.
It's all out.
Show, we do what we like. But it's all out at once.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that until you were like, oh, let's do Echo. And I went, oh, how many episodes are out? And so it all got released on the same day.
Yeah, and there's 5 episodes. Because there's 5 episodes. There's not like 8 or 10 or 13. There's only 5. But it's all the way that it's all out at once means people just can just watch it all however they like. But for us, it's like let's do our normal formula, which is the first episode, and then in like 5 weeks we'll do the rest of it. Whenever we get around to finishing it, just like She-Hulk.
Yes.
Right. Just like She-Hulk.
Just like She-Hulk.
So take us into Echo, Corey. Obviously, this is a character we have seen before.
Yeah,
in the MCU.
Hawkeye.
In Hawkeye, yes.
Which was about a year and a bit ago now, actually.
What did you think of Hawkeye? Or Echo in Hawkeye?
I didn't mind it. I thought she was alright. I didn't mind her as a character, and I'm all for Marvel bringing in new people.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we've had before with Iron Man going, and Marvel seems to be kind of going in the direction of here's like all these new people now for the new phase, and we're going to kind of put more people in the forefront, and if Echo's going to be one of them, then yeah, sure, go for it. By all means.
It shares continuity with the rest of the films, and is a spin-off of Hawkeye. It's a spin-off of a spin-off.
Yeah.
Which is getting its own spin-off, which is going to get a sequel to the spin-off.
Yeah.
So we had Avengers, where Hawkeye was in the first Avengers, or Avengers Assemble here in the UK.
Yeah.
Then we had Hawkeye in 2021, which was the spin-off of the rest of the Avengers films, like Endgame and whatnot, and Infinity War. Now we have Echo, which is a spin-off of a character coming in from Hawkeye.
Yeah. And
then after Echo, we're going to have Daredevil Born Again.
Yes.
Which is a sequel to Echo, or a spin-off of Echo, from the character who appeared in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And then it's all into all the web. It's woven like a quilt.
Hey, it's all coming together.
It's all coming together, that's right.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming together. We've got Maya Lopez, or Echo. She's the hero this time. Obviously, she's deaf, communicates via ASL sign language.
Yep.
And she's also missing a leg, paraplegic.
Correct.
And she is played by the amazing, I think it's Alakwa, I want to say. I don't want to get her name wrong. Alakwa Cox, who is all of those things in real life, which is fantastic. Native American, deaf, paraplegic actress. I think he's absolutely fantastic, and he really it's her performance of which this show is carried on, and she pulls it off so well.
Yeah, it's really good. And also the fact that in the first episode, and I'm going to assume probably all of them, there's no dialogue from her at all.
No.
And it's great because it all relies on essentially body language and kind of just her as an actor, and it's really good. Yes,
and the physical performance is what this has carried on. So, with this being a spin-off of Hawkeye, the main villain of Hawkeye was the one and only Wilson Fisk.
Yes, good old Kingpin.
Played by Vincent D'Onofrio himself, good old Vinny D.
Yeah.
He's back again. It's the role of his lifetime, and he cannot get away from it no matter how hard he tries, or he doesn't want to get away from him.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't want to get away from it because when Daredevil was cancelled by Netflix, one of its most outspoken supporters was Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
He's like, we wanted Daredevil back. He wanted to play Kingpin again every time he's going on about Kingpin. And now Kingpin's back. And Vinny D is doing an absolutely amazing job.
Oh, it's really good.
He's awesome job. He is born for the role. He is Kingpin in every shape of the word. How he does the dialogue, how he speaks. He's the twitchiest man in New York. He's got the big suits. He's shot big. He feels like a huge man. I don't know whether it's Vinny D or they've put him in a bit of a fat suit, but he just looks like a huge
he does.
dude. Like he looks like the comic. He looks like he's just a square with a little head on, with a Vinny D head. I think that's fantastic. And we're back to New York because we get the story of we lead up to Hawkeye.
Yes.
The first 20 minutes of the first episode, the first half an hour of the first episode, is showing you what happens up to that point in Hawkeye. Where we see her background in Oklahoma. She's raised by the Native American family, her roots and her community, and she comes back to that community after so long, after the events of Hawkeye.
Yep.
What we see leading up to it is her life and her training and her joining the aptly named Tracksuit Mafia. Because they're in a mafia and they wear tracksuits.
They do indeed. That's a good creative name, that is.
And her dad is a member of the Tracksuit Mafia who got killed by the Ronin or Hawkeye.
Yep.
Or Jeremy Renner, a little cameo in this. I think it's the same footage from Hawkeye, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it might have been.
I don't think he shot new stuff for this. But even though this was probably filmed at the time of, if not a little bit after the shooting of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
It's my speculation. He gets killed by the Ronin and she swears revenge, but then he realises that he was set up to die by Kingpin anyway. So then Maya feels betrayed and goes to Kingpin and shoots him.
Yes, and obviously that's Kingpin gone, right? Obviously.
Yes, yeah, Kingpin gone. Kingpin is dead.
Yep.
But he's not the only Daredevil character that returns.
No.
We have Daredevil himself, Charlie Cox.
Turns up,
Daredevil, and that fight scene is just fantastic. It goes
really
on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It goes on for like 20 minutes, and it feels like a raucous ride from the moment you get into it, because Kingpin is like, I don't want to do my Kingpin impression.
Go on.
But he goes, you need a job. You need a job. That's how you do a Kingpin. This is how you do a Kingpin impression, right? Start saying the sentence, and then like the third or fourth word you say, you've got to say it in the loud and in the most enunciated way you can possibly, right? So let's say a sentence I have to say with people is, I'm going to go to the store and get some milk. Right? I'm going to go to the shop and get some milk. So this is how Kingpin would say it. I'm going to go to the store and get some milk. Milk. Like that, right?
Right, yeah.
Give it a go, Corey. Say I'm going to cross the street to buy some Tic Tacs.
Why have you given me that?
I'll go. I'm going to cross the street to buy some Tic Tacs.
Okay, fine. Okay, okay.
Yeah, your turn.
I want to cross the street to buy some Tic Tacs.
See, that was good. See, that's how you do it. That's how you do a Vincent D'Onofrio Kingpin impression. It's also helpful if you can if you can do some twitching afterwards or during the sentence.
Can't wait for about 5 weeks later when that impression comes back.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kingpin impression. But Charlie Cox stood up in this as Daredevil himself. He's not Matt Murdock. Maybe he's Matt Murdock a little bit later, but he's Daredevil, and he's got the nunchaku or whatever he uses. His nunchucks with a string on it. I guess they are nunchucks. Really,
I would say, yeah.
And he's got all the flips and the rolls and the kicks, and he disappears out in thin air, and it's a blind man fighting a deaf paraplegic.
Correct.
And they're both fighting as capable as anyone.
Yes, they are.
And that is fantastic. That is amazing to see. Really awesome work there. And great choreography as well to make that all one shot. Obviously, you can tell when they cut, but because they go through a wall, they go round like grating, and you can see when they're going round the metal grating. You can see they probably cut there. But I like the illusion of the one shot take of the one take whole scene, because that scene is all kind of based around the rotating camera around Maya, because it's the first time that Echo is involved in any sort of Kingpin's criminal business, trying to shake down those guys. And the whole scene kind of revolves around her, so the camera has to move around her, and then we don't even see really much of Daredevil doing stuff.
No.
But we kind of feel like he's kind of the Batman in, I don't know, the Harley Quinn show, where he comes in, you don't see him very much, but he's moving around and he feels quite mysterious.
Yeah.
And then we cut forward back to 5 months later. So this means we're now in effectively December of. I don't know if this is set before the blip or not. I think it's set after the blip, which means it would be 2025. But the sources that I found said it was late 2024. So I don't know if it's before the blip or not, or during the blip. I'm not sure.
At least one of us is keeping up the continuity of it.
Well, I'm trying. I'm trying, Corey. So then, 5 months later, after that, she goes back to Tamahara, Oklahoma, and meets with her cousin, Biscuits.
Nice.
Who's just the funnest man.
Yeah.
He looks like a fun guy. He's just
got
really
a dog.
jovial. He's happy. He's got a dog. You know what the dog's called?
Was it Billy Bobby something?
Billy Jack.
That's
Billy
it.
Jack is a dog called Billy Jack, and he's just a happy little dog.
Yeah.
And if Maya is on the run from Fisk's men, and she wants to take out his train.
Yeah.
Because he's got Fisk shipping setting up in her town.
Yeah.
But it's not just about Maya. There's a friend Bonnie.
Yep. Childhood friendship.
Childhood friendship, Bonnie. I really like this. I know it's going to be obvious because the main character is deaf. But the sign language communication in this show is really fantastic. To just see people just talking really freely with the sign language, and you see their words enunciated and the moves come out. I'm not going to attempt anything because I don't know ASL, but I know people that do, but I don't. And it's such a unique way of communication, and it's really, really interesting to see that the deaf character is our main character.
Yep.
So everyone almost has to do it.
Yep.
And it's such a interesting thing to witness, but it's also leans into her character and kind of how she lives her life.
Yeah, because especially like you get the obviously people she grows up with, like her dad can do it, her cousin can do it, but when she joins Fisk for the first time, there's the two guys and they can't do it.
No, they can't do it at all, and I was like, that's also probably part of her life as well.
Yeah.
Like how she communicate with people that don't know it.
It's like the guy at the roller skating rink. He can't do it. He doesn't have no clue.
Yeah, exactly. And even Fisk himself has a translator do it for him, which I think should have been. If you've ever seen Daredevil, right?
I've seen bits.
Right. If you've ever seen Daredevil, Fisk has an assistant who's like his right-hand man, who's called a guy called Wesley, and I think Wesley's really cool. Because he's like this cool assistant guy, he knows everything that Fisk wants, he's like Fisk's best friend. I'm like, it's Toby Leonard Moore who's been in loads of stuff like John Wick and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, why couldn't they get him back for this? You know, it's a flashback, get Wesley back, I love him. I think Wesley needs to come back in something, but maybe he comes back in this, I don't know. I've not seen the other 4 episodes, sorry.
Yeah.
I've seen 2 of them. But I'd like to see Fisk come back. I'd like to see more Daredevil characters come back, especially for Born Again, when Daredevil Born Again comes out. But we need Foggy, we need Karen Page, we need all the best characters, because apparently because of all the alternate universe stuff, all the Defenders are canon now.
Right. Okay.
There was a weird thing that happened because Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist, the Defenders, they all had their own shows.
They did.
There were varying degrees of good.
Yeah.
Or varying degrees of quality. And then they all teamed up for a Defenders show.
Correct.
Right? It was like they're watching the TV Avengers.
Yeah.
It was amazing when you were around at this time. It was like they were getting MCU TV shows. People were like, "Wow, this was the first time this had happened."
It was, yeah.
People was like, "Wow, MCU shows. They're going to cover all the characters that we love, like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist." Oh no, sorry. I shouldn't. Corey loves Iron Fist. I don't think we've described this. Corey is a big fan of Iron Fist, and I'm sure you've seen the Iron Fist show.
I have.
Yes, indeed. And
it wasn't great.
It's all on Disney Plus now. Maybe we could review it someday. We could easily do Iron Fist. Put that on the list. I'd like to do all the shows eventually, all the Defenders shows, at least a little bits of all the Defenders shows at least. Because that first season of Daredevil is it's peak quality. That first season of Daredevil. and then all the defenders team up in their own combination show, and I'm like, wow, people have never seen this kind of thing before, and it was mind blowing. It was mind blowing for people. But this is what I think they're trying to do with this, because you get Hawkeye, and then you get Echo as a spin-off, and then down the road, there's because they're doing a film on oh god, what are they called? It's like the Suicide Squad, but it's in Marvel. You know what I mean, don't you? You know immediately what I mean.
I know what you mean.
It's gonna have that guy from. It's gonna have all the characters from the villainous kind of Agent America is gonna be in it, and the guy from Black Widow, that Black Widow thing, and Yelena Belova is in it as well, and Ghost, and General Ross is supposed to be in it. Thunderbolts is what it's called. There you go. I just remembered. Thunderbolts. They're doing a Thunderbolts film, and Contessa as well. They're doing a Thunderbolts film, so I figured they might try something like that with this.
Yeah.
Where they kind of make a low. I don't want to say low rent Avengers because that sounds a bit insulting, but it was the Defenders only defended New York.
We did. It was very small.
That was their whole job.
Yeah.
I'm that's what to defend one city where all the crime happens.
Yeah.
You know, all the no other crime happens anywhere in America apart from New York City. That's why they need their own dedicated team of people to do it.
Yeah, you know, a little department. That's where
one of which, you know, they've all got some sort of power.
Yes.
Jessica Jones has super strength. Luke Cage also has super strength. Iron Fist has super martial arts.
Correct.
Is that it?
And a flaming fist.
Flaming fist, yeah. And Daredevil has regular fists.
He does.
But he's blind, and he has super senses. I feel like they could do somewhat of a similar Defender thing with this, whether they have Echo probably and Daredevil, and you could bring Jessica Jones back if you want.
Yeah.
You know, bring back Iron Fist, Luke Cage, that kind of thing. Kind of expand the roster a bit more.
Yeah, well, there were talks of that ages ago. I know, there's rumours of Iron Fist and stuff would be on Shang-Chi and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe they will down the line.
And Shang-Chi, yeah, and all the kind of updated television shows of which they're doing in this phase, right?
Yeah.
Because if you look at Daredevil Born Again,
okay,
and this was originally expected to be like a sequel to the Daredevil show,
right?
Like that ran from 2015 to 2018, and I think now they're doing because I remember they cast John Bernthal in it a while back, and so Punisher will show up.
Yep. From
season 2 of Daredevil, which is also a great season. But I think they're having to recast Foggy and Karen Page and stuff like that, and not get some of the people who came back from the first show. So, and obviously it was suspended because of the writer's strike.
Yes.
And SAG-AFTRA. Yep. And obviously support all of that.
Yep.
Which also led to apparently the heavy reshooting of this show. They also to the point where Alakwa Cox was pregnant for some of the shooting of this show.
Nice.
So yeah, Daredevil beat up a deaf pregnant paraplegic.
Great.
Yeah, which is great.
He's the hero apparently.
Yeah, he's the hero. But yeah, they had a writer's room for this, but I think it was affected by the strikes, and you know it may have been delayed when it came out or something like that. But I feel like during the course of this show, especially the episode, we get a bit of a feel of what the Daredevil show may be like. I think we get a feeling of what this new Daredevil show might feel like by thinking about what we see in Echo.
Yeah. So
what do you think of some of you're a big guy for combat.
Yeah.
As VJ Emmy would say, you're a big guy for the fight scenes. What do you think of some of the action of Echo?
I really enjoy it, and actually a lot of this seems to be, from what I can gather in the first episode, the scene where it's her and the two guys working for Fisk, and they go in and they kick the door down and go all in. She was doing actual martial arts moves. I sat there and I said, there we go, she's got a guillotine on, there we go, nice and tight. She was doing the stuff. It's very nice. It seems very grand.
She's got good kicks.
Yeah, she's got good kicks. Very good kicks. She was doing probably some kind of Muay Thai, Taekwondo or something at one point in the ring. It seems very nice, very realistic. I had one issue.
Okay.
I don't know if you picked up on it. It's right at the start of the episode where we see Ronin, like, essentially killing her father and everyone else.
Yes.
She, like, kicks the door down and thinks, oh, she's going to run in and go for him, and she just stops and just walks.
Oh.
And, like, I thought it might be a bit more faster paced than that.
Well, you know what? Well, let me tell you why it wasn't faster paced.
Go on.
Because we don't see Echo in that scene.
No.
We see Hawkeye, Ronin, go in, wipe out all the dudes in Fat Man Auto, whatever it's called, which I think is funny.
I love this called Fat
Kingpin.
Man.
Yeah, Kingpin, yeah, exactly. I didn't notice that in Hawkeye, actually.
I noticed it then.
I didn't notice it was called that. I didn't notice it then. I only noticed it this time. I was like, what, Fat Man Auto Repair?
Yeah.
That's funny. And then he's killing all the dudes in Fat Man Auto Repair. He jumps out the window. Echo kicks the door down and then starts walking.
Yeah.
But I realised that we're now seeing this from her eyes. We're seeing this from her perspective.
Yeah.
We didn't see it from her perspective previously because it was told from Hawkeye's perspective.
Yep.
But this time we're getting it from hers. We're seeing it with that sort of flipped lens. And that's what's important in this show. And we go away from New York, we go back to Oklahoma,
yep,
and back to her roots, especially with the opening of of this show. But I thought it was getting a bit cosmic initially. I was like, this is an odd opening for for an Echo show. This seems very sort of cosmic Marvel. I wonder who these folk are. And obviously these are down to her Native American roots.
Yep.
And her people, so we see some of them as well. And then they arrive, they get sort of transported from the ceiling that caves in, and they turn up and they turn into the first human beings. And then they travel along the river, and it's all it's shot very well. I like all the effects.
Yeah.
And we'll see in the second few episodes that Maya sort of starts having visions of her presence in Tamaha, and she goes from there to try and stop Fisk's takeover.
Correct. Because I would say Fisk is definitely not alive anymore.
No, not alive anymore.
It's free reign now. She can do what wants.
And at the end of the episode, we see that Fisk's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see that the Kingpin has returned. He's only been shot in the eye, which is right. Okay, let me levy another slight criticism against this show.
Go on.
Only on dialogue. At the end of Hawkeye,
yeah,
when Maya has her gun up to Fisk's head, and Wilson says, Maya, I still care for you. Maya, we're still family. And he goes, sometimes family doesn't see eye to eye. And then he gets shot. And that's the end of his scene in Hawkeye. When the camera lifts up, we don't see her if he shoots her or not. We just hear the gunshot.
Yeah.
Like that line isn't in this show.
No, it's not.
I feel like maybe it would have been too on the nose for what happens at the end. Yeah. That's why they cut it. And it was also kind of a reference to the comics. But I understand why they included it in Hawkeye, but I don't know why they didn't include it here. Like, it was a good line, and it was delivered very well. And you've got Vincent D'Onofrio saying that line, and you want him saying as many lines as possible.
You do.
So, I think they should have just included that line in it anyway. But I understand why they did. I can understand why they didn't.
Yeah.
It's also my point. I understand why they didn't.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we see he's alive, and then we hear ominous voiceover dialogue of him saying, "If you want the war, you'll go get the war."
We get a teaser of. I think you mean if you want a war, you're going to get to war.
That's it.
There you go.
It's the one. It's just like he's in the room with me.
I'm not twitching enough.
Yeah.
My eye's not twitching enough. He's the twitchiest man in New York. He's doing it. Well, that's what it is. For as cartoonish as we say, it is an amazing performance.
It is, yeah.
Arguably one of the best performances in this show. And he's the character that, that has Maya under his wing, and he is kind of the ominous presence of Kingpins looming everywhere.
Yeah.
And which is really what needs to be. I know there's been a lot of trouble with Kang recently, I don't want to stop talking about Kang.
Yeah.
But on a human level, not a cosmic Marvel level, you could build Kingpin to be a huge phase villain.
Yeah, you could.
Apart from making him a villain in like 2 TV shows.
Yeah.
I think, or 3, with Daredevil Born Again. But you could make him a full film villain. Why not? Vincent D'Onofrio wants to do it. He loves the character. He knows the character. and give us a Daredevil film, but give us a Defenders film. It's not hard to do.
Yeah,
and you could.
I would watch that. I'd give us it. Yes, yeah. Give us a more.
People.
I was going to say, give us a more smart, tactical, seeded-in villain.
Yeah, exactly. That's my problem with right. I'm also going to rant about this now. Sorry.
Okay, go on.
But have you ever seen Arrow on CW or Sky over here?
I've seen bits.
Right. One of my problems with Arrow was there was never a villain that was like the thinking man's villain. And I say that like there wasn't like a tactical villain like I'm going to outthink you, Arrow. Apart from like in one season and he gets killed halfway through. But the rest of the villains were like, oh, I'm super strong, I'm just going to throw you around kind of thing. Like, like Deathstroke and Dark Arthur and whatever. And Prometheus, who was a fantastic villain. But they needed a villain that was like the Riddler or something. Where I say for Batman comparison, I always go for the Batman comparison, because I love Batman. But they needed like a Riddler, like a thinker, a thinker, a character who appeared in The Flash once. He had a big chair. And
great.
He did. He had a big chair he sat in, a big thinker's chair, and he like floated around in the chair. And he's like, oh,
I bet Kingpin's got a big chair.
Or the wife Kingpin. I bet he's a big man. He'd need a big chair. He'd need a big chair to sit in. How's he going to sit down if he's not sat in a big chair?
Reinforced chair.
Reinforced chair. Good lumbar support.
Yeah.
He's a big man. He's a big man. He's got a big back. He's a big boy, so he really needs to sit down. Obviously, he's walking around all day.
He is.
He had a cane in Hawkeye. He doesn't have a cane in this, but he has a cane in Hawkeye. He's wearing those big suits. He's extra. There's like 15 X's on his shirt.
Yeah.
Extra large shirts. And he goes shopping. I'd like to buy a big shirt. I'm sorry, sir, we don't have anything in your size. I had to go to M&S.
Oh, M&S.
Yeah, Marks and Spencer's.
Wow.
To get his shirts.
That's where Kingpin would go.
Yeah, he would go to M&S, wouldn't he? Where would you think he'd go? The TK Maxx?
Been better next.
But we'd go into he'd walk into the next store. He'd go, what you have on sale? I need to buy a suit jacket.
Yeah, buy it on a budget.
I've got £30. This was £27. Under budget.
Marvel, can we get a weird spin-off of just Kingpin buying clothes, please?
Yeah, keeping clothes shopping. I'd like that. Because that seems like something he'd do in Daredevil.
Yeah.
Because that was always the thing. He'd like look at paintings and stuff. And what I think's funny is, it's keeping on the subject of Kingpin, when he's telling Maya about his history, he goes, "Oh yes, my father," because obviously Maya's father died.
Yep.
He goes, "Oh yes, my father died very young too. I was 12 years old." He negates the fact to tell her he killed his father when he was 12 years old with a hammer in the back of the head.
Yeah,
so
well, you shouldn't need to know that.
He doesn't need to know exactly. He brushes over that. Don't need to know that. Doesn't even tell her.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. His father did die. Yeah, when he was 12. Yeah, I guess that's right. Technically, he's right.
Yeah.
And technically, is often the best way to be. Technically, is the best way to be. Hindsight, Corey, it's 2020. So he just decides, I'll leave that out. Just leave that out. I thought that was quite funny. Clearly, that is a reference to Daredevil, the show.
Yeah.
Where that scene's done very well. But speaking on this episode of Echo, let's go to our real rating for this episode.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
As an opener.
I thought also, just as another extra point, I thought it went very quickly.
It did go very quickly.
It's 50. The opening episode is 50 minutes.
Yeah.
I know people might look at that and think, nearly an hour of television. I'm not going to watch that. But I think it goes by tremendously fast. I watched the second episode afterwards, and that went by quite quickly as well. I don't know how he does that. It was like a weird time thing. Like the moment I started watching it, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm into it now." And like go through and get into more scenes, you see Kingpin action, you get that amazing fight scene in the middle of the episode with Daredevil.
Yeah.
And you go, "Wow, this is really getting off to a raucous start." And then the moment you start thinking, "Oh, I could watch more of this," the episode ends.
It stops, yeah.
Oh yeah, it stops, and I go, "Oh, I guess I'm going to watch more." And if they keep that pace for 5 episodes, that is like it's like watching a film in itself.
Yeah.
Which I think is more of a praise than a drawback, really.
Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed it, and it left me doing, wanting to go see the next one, which is what you want to do when you're doing the first episode. It introduces you, it catches you up as well, a bit of Hawkeye, a bit of the last one. So I really enjoyed it. So for me, it's going to be in the realm of about an 8.5.
Okay, I was going to initially give it a 7.
Okay.
But because you've said an 8.5, I would brought it up to an 8, but I think I will stick with a 7.
Nice.
Because it's the first episode, I'm expecting it to get better.
So you're being smart.
Yes, thank you. I'm going for the attack. I'm like Kingpin, you see, I'm thinking ahead. So, I'm going to give it a 7, and when we review the whole series in, like, I don't know, February, round about, it might go up.
So
I will give it a first episode for the 7. And for the remainder episode, before we get to our weekly rec, which I believe is Corey's this week.
Mine, yep.
Yes, indeed. I thought we'd talk about a little bit of what's to come with Marvel.
Okay.
Because obviously there is quite a big situation going on with Kang now,
right.
And what the next few phases of the MCU will look like. Now we have sort of removed. Well, no, I don't say we have removed Kang.
Yeah.
What happened was Jonathan Majors was convicted of his crimes, and Disney and Marvel decided to drop him a bit like a bad habit.
Yep.
And obviously that's well in their right. And he's guilty. I say, condemn him and never allow him to work again. And I'm very strong on that stance.
Yep.
As he shouldn't be allowed to do that if he's a criminal. But the problem is he was in an active phase of Marvel.
Yes.
And Kevin Feige has said this is the man we want to base our whole next phases on, or whatever. Yep. And now we've realised he's not really a great person, Jonathan Majors. So we should do away with him.
Yep.
And do something else.
Yep.
And people are like, we should bring in Doctor Doom, we should bring in Galactus, No, I don't have to say so. I'll ask for your thoughts first, Corey, and then I'll tell you what I think.
Well, I'm going to assume, and probably what I would say, because it's happened in Marvel a couple of times, and I'm going to assume they're just going to go for a recast and just act like it hadn't happened in the first place, i.e. Brody, that kind of thing. Someone else, brush it under the rug, we know why it's not there.
Yeah, what happened with Rhodey was Terrence Howard was in the role of Iron Man. Yeah, Terrence Howard was in Iron Man. He wanted more money for Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
They wouldn't allow it, so they got rid of him and they cast Don Cheadle. And the first thing that Don Cheadle does in Iron Man 2, if you can remember, is he walks onto the scene in the hearing. Everyone's like, there's Rhodey. Look, and we see the back of his head. It's not Terrence Howard, it's Don Cheadle. Tony stands up to shake his hand. He goes, I didn't realise you were going to be here. And Don Cheadle just goes, all right, it's me. Let's deal with it. Let's just carry on. I'm like, that's a great actor to say. Just don't address. It's just Don Cheadle now.
Yeah.
And he's Don Cheadle for the rest of the film. So that's fine.
I'm going to assume that's what they're going to go down. It's someone else. We know why it's someone else.
Yeah.
That's who it is now.
It's probably the best character in Marvel you
can
do that with.
Yeah.
Because this whole thing is he's got different variants.
Yes.
And you can say that different variant just looks like this guy now.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine.
I mean, the only issue with that now is that in Loki, Ant-Man.
Season 2.
Ant-Man 3.
Oh yeah, Ant-Man, yeah.
Right at the end, you saw all the arena of Kangs that all were very much Jonathan Majors.
All Jonathan Major Kangs, yeah. But you could say there's just one Kang variant that doesn't look like Jonathan Major's
there could be one that it doesn't.
Kang. Exactly, and there you go. Well, no, what they did was they slightly swept it under the rug in Loki Season 2.
Yeah.
Which we have reviewed or have not?
We have not.
Oh, right. So I've seen it.
I've seen it.
Okay. Why aren't we doing that?
I don't know.
Okay. We shouldn't have these conversations on air, Corey.
No, we shouldn't.
But
we're organised people, it's fine.
Yeah, we're organised. We're really organised. Trust us, we are really organised, actually. We try to be.
Yeah.
It's things that get in the way that don't make us organised. How you doing there, Ryan? How's it going? But no, I shan't blame him. I don't want it. No. It's him that's keeping us on air.
Yeah, he's sat there. He's got to deal with us, and
he's sat there currently with his head in his hands.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, exactly. But I think for what they could do with Kang is just recast somebody else. It's not hard, Just say, these were a bunch of Kang variants that look like Jonathan Majors. They were all found by the TVA and arrested or killed or whatever. And then now we have a bunch of Kang variants that looks like this guy. Yeah. So and make your change.
The one that I keep saying is John Boyega.
Oh right.
The one I keep seeing thrown around.
The one I keep seeing is Giancarlo Esposito.
Fair enough.
So We've got two great actors there. Could be either of them. I think the new guy actually has been speculated, but I can't think of his name at the minute.
Yeah.
But I think the new guy has been speculated. So best of luck to whoever that is.
Yeah.
But then let's go on to Marvel Spotlights.
Oh, hello.
If you'll notice, you may have seen this when you were watching the opening of Echo.
Okay.
When you saw those logos come on,
Yep.
including viewer discretion is advised.
I saw that.
Which is all edgy Marvel.
Oh.
You're going to give me some edgy content, are you? You're going to perhaps, show me a bit of blood.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or show me a man's,
You get that.
You do. Show me a bit of, I was going to say, well, no one really swears. There's not any cursing or any,
No.
I guess it's content more than
Yeah.
language. Obviously, you can swear in sign language. It's okay, apparently.
Yeah.
So I've read. But this is Marvel Spotlight, and this is the banner for a select series that focuses on more grounded, character-driven stories.
Right.
I'm not doing that sarcastically.
Yep.
I'm just saying that's what this says here that I'm reading. And less impacting the larger MCU narrative. Like Thanos isn't going to show up at the end.
Yeah.
And head of streaming, Brad Winderbaugh, who saw his name on everything recently,
Yep.
said that it was made during the post-production on Echo as a way to indicate audiences that they did not watch any other MCU projects to understand the Spotlight series, as in case with Marvel Comics. So it's like, if you've not seen every other Marvel film,
you can watch
it's
this.
fine.
Yeah.
You can watch this. It's going to have no connections of any kind.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart.
It makes
also,
sense.
I think is. I don't want to use this word because it's a bit of a savage word to use, but yes, it's good. Lazy, I don't know. That's up for debate.
Right.
Because surely they should have something to reward people who watch all the Marvel stuff, like Easter eggs or whatever, and something like that. Hawkeye did that quite well.
Did.
Easter eggs for things. So people are like, oh yeah, he's got a shrinking arrow because he got that from Hank Pym, who gave him, Scott Lang, who gave him the Pym particles to have a shrinking arrow. And Hawkeye, remember that? Yeah, so do I. People might think, oh, why has he got an arrow that shrinks somebody? That's a bit weird. Doesn't he have the technology to do that? But no, Marvel Spotlight is meant to be something that's more grounded and character focused. The next one they're doing is Wonder Man.
Okay.
Which is a strange one to do, because Wonder Man is a sort of B-list, C-list Iron Man villain.
Right.
Or Avengers villain, which is a bit strange, but I mean, Echo wasn't actually well known at all.
Yeah.
Echo just sort of Daredevil villain, not really known about, quite recent to comics. So I'd probably say that she was about on the same level as Wonder Man almost.
Yeah.
Although Wonder Man's older than her probably. And Echo was also the first series to simultaneously released on Hulu as well as Disney Plus.
Oh,
so for those American viewers, if we have any, you can watch it on Hulu.
We do actually.
Then do we?
Yeah.
Oh, lucky for us. Lucky for us. Maybe they like our Kingpin impression. That'd be good.
That's a big fan.
Exactly, yeah, big fans. But what do you think of the shift to a grounded, character-driven story for Marvel, with nothing to do with the MCU at all?
It's different for Marvel because you'd expect everything in Marvel's connected. You watch everything from every single phase, and there's always it's gonna come together or whatever. But the more they do that, I guess maybe the more harder it is for people just to kind of jump in.
Yeah.
Randomly. So this might be good if you've got, I'm interested but I don't know where to start. Here you go. You don't watch anything, watch this. If you like this, go watch other stuff.
Because they're so far along
that
it gets to a point where you can't really jump in without having to watch 12, whatever, how many films they've ever made. I've lost count. 20 to 18.
Yeah.
And then however many series and then whatnot. And it's why I think What If has become so successful.
Yep.
Because What If kind of just... You don't need much to understand What If either. Because it takes the films, but it takes a new take on the films. So it's kind of something new and fresh and different. And that's what people want with Marvel, so that's what Marvel Spotlight could provide.
Yeah.
Something new and fresh and different for the MCU. But let's hope Corey is new and fresh and different with his weekly rec. Because we always seem to live a new, fresh and different weekly rec, don't we, Corey?
Yes, we do. All the time. Okay.
Well, we do, that's the aim.
Yes.
That's the aim, okay.
This is new.
Is it fresh and different?
I would say it's different. It is also, on Rotten Tomatoes, it is a fresh.
Alright, okay, excellent.
So, it will class fresh. Now, is it a recent thing or a new film? No, so depending on your mass, it might be old and mulch.
Mm.
But in this series, you mentioned it's a Daredevil. So I'm going to go down the Charlie Cox route here.
Oh yes, I love Charlie Cox.
I'm going that route. And I was looking at what he's been in. I was like, oh, what's Charlie Cox been in? Let's see.
I just want to stop you before you go any more to Charlie Cox. I will let you finish. The show Kin.
Okay.
I really like that show.
Okay.
Charlie Cox is in it. I've just been watching it recently. I've been binging it recently on Sky. I think it's fantastic. Great BBC drama about an Irish crime family. Aidan Gillen from Game of Thrones. Kieran Hines, I'm a big, massive fan of. The TV show Kin. If you're going out your way, I'm not going to tack a recommendation onto your recommendation. But if you've got some time, got good episodes, 2 seasons.
Yep.
I'm watching it at the moment. Kin, really, really good. Charlie Cox is in it. Okay, continue.
Yes, that is not what I'm recommending.
Okay.
It'd be good if it was. It is, and I've not actually seen it. But no. So I was going down the road. Oh, what's Charlie Cox been in? What's Charlie Cox been in? And then I forgot. He is in a film, which is an adaptation of a book, which is one of my favourite books of all time. The film is also pretty decent, and that is the film Stardust.
Oh, yes.
He is in this. He plays the main character. He is probably about 20 years old.
Yes, Neil Gaiman.
Correct. I love the book. If I was recommending a book, I would get a 10 out of 10, but I'm not recommending the film.
Well, I think there's a precedent for this, Corey. Because if you can remember a few episodes back, probably last year, you were mentioning that you were reading Stardust.
Yep.
And I don't know whether I reacted favourably to that or not, but you did mention that you were reading this.
Yeah. The film is the book is great, but the film is also really good. It also stars people like Henry Cavill is in this.
Yes. A very young Henry Cavill.
Randomly, is in this, and Rob De Niro is also in this.
He is, yes.
Randomly, and features music from Take That.
Yeah, of course. I remember that was the. Yeah, that was it, wasn't it? And Michelle Pfeiffer as well.
Yep, she's also in this.
Where's Michelle Pfeiffer? Rupert Everett. Jason Fleming. Massive cast.
What's his name from? Who's the bald man?
Who's the bald man?
Yeah.
Mark Strong.
Yes.
Yeah, it is Mark Strong.
He's in this.
It is Mark Strong. Yeah. Mark Strong's also good in this as well.
Which is weird, because I didn't realise until... I always forget how many people are in this.
Yeah.
Because they're all, like, young.
Yeah, they are quite young. And they are quite young, and it's it's 2007.
Yeah.
What a year was that? I remember seeing this at the cinema, I remember seeing this at the cinema. Because my mum was a fan of Take That and a fan of the book.
Everyone I know has always gone, oh, because everyone I told it when I read the books was going, oh, you should watch the film, it's a great film. I didn't even know it was a film.
Oh, right.
I seem to have missed that somehow, growing up.
Oh.
Everyone else knows what it is and has seen it. I did not.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed the film. It's a good time. If you read the book, it's a decent adaptation. It's not, it's iffy in some parts, but it's fine. But on its own, it's an enjoyable film. So I'm going to give it round about, again, the realm of 8.5.
Okay, 8.5 for Stardust. And I think we could probably also review this ourselves, I'd say.
Yeah.
At some point. I feel like as a fan of the book, you could have a comparison to watch this film and what you think. It is a little over 2 hours.
It is.
But I'd say I remember being entertained by it in 2007. I remember particularly there being a tiny elephant in it. And that was what I was thinking about as a child. It's like a really small elephant. Elephants are big animals, but this one was a small one.
Yes.
Yeah, this one was like a small elephant. And that was like tripped me out as a kid, I think. But and also strangely enough, Charlie Cox talking with his actual voice.
Yes. Which
is odd for me, because often he's playing an American man or he's playing an Irish man. He's not actually speaking with his English accent.
Yes.
So we're going to put English accent Charlie Cox, which is fantastic. I'm a big fan of Charlie Cox here.
No, he's really good in this. It's a really good film.
And that was a great recommendation of Stardust. So I'd say go out there, watch Echo, watch all of Echo if you want.
Yeah, it's on there now.
Available. Watch all of Echo if you want on Disney Plus. And we have quite a few interesting reviews coming up in these next few weeks. We kind of did Echo as a bit of a spontaneous review.
Yep.
Because I was like, well, it's just come out like literally as we're doing this.
It came out like 3 days
Wednesday,
ago.
2 days ago, 2 days ago. So we're doing this quite recently, which is great. I think we should be more on the hot button shows, Corey.
Yeah.
We should be more pip to the post with early come outs. So I'd say I'm a bit of an early come out if you know what I mean. But what's next is going to be some fantastic reviews, and one that is a long time coming, Corey,
yes.
since the start of the real show.
Yes.
I've been waiting to review this film, but I'll leave it just as a surprise for now. And we're going to thank you very much for watching and listening along. We do appreciate everyone's support.
We do indeed.
And thank you very much. It is a goodbye from me, goodbye, and a goodbye from Corey.
Goodbye.